My hair is a complete mess, but oh well, we're gonna do this anyway. Um, so hey, what's up? My name's Luke. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. So today I'm gonna be talking about how I came out to my parents, specifically as trans. Because in case you didn't know, I am trans. I've known since, like, well, I've kind of known all my life, but like I was finally able to kind of put a word to it when I was like 12, I think. And kind of hearing everybody who, like, I discovered, I think I think it was Alex Bertie I discovered, and he kind of described his dysphoria, I think, and I was like, hang on a second, I feel like this a lot. Like, I have extreme discomfort about every single feminine thing about my body, and it's not that I wish that it was a different. Well, no, it's not that I wish that it was kind of like a different feminine. I wish that it was male. I don't really know how to describe it. As you can tell, I'm amazing at describing things. So yeah, so I came out like 3 times. So the first time, the first 2 times I was 12. So like the first time, we were talking at the table, and I can't remember what I mentioned, but I mentioned something about a trans person. And my sister was like, "Oh, what's that?" My sister, she's 3 years younger than me. So when I was 12, she was 9. Right? Yeah, I did do. Yeah, when I was 12, she was 9. Um, and so she kind of was like, "Oh, what's that?" And so we kind of explained it, and she was like, "Oh," like jokingly, okay, "Oh, my birth name feels that way." And my mom was like, "Do you?" And I was like, "No." And then a couple of minutes later, I asked to leave the table, and I came down here. And then I told my friends, and I was like, like, I'm panicking because I want her to know, and blah 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 blah. So they gave me the confidence to tell her. So I asked her down to my room, and she was all like, well, yeah, I was basically all like, "Oh, we were talking about the table," and she was like, "Yeah, do you want me to come down?" So I said, "Yeah," and we talked about it, and she was just kind of like, "Okay, before we do anything, can you wait a few years, just so we know for sure that it is this and it's not you just being uncomfortable because you're 12 and you've just started puberty, and it's, just to make sure it's not that and it's actually gender dysphoria," except she didn't know the word for it. But like, and so I said yeah, because that's, obvious. Like, you're gonna want to wait a few years to make sure that you are comfortable living as a male or a female, depends which, like, depends which way you're transitioning. But yeah, and then I I said again when I was like 13, I think 13 or 14. She was like, "Okay, can you still wait maybe a few more years? Like, it's not that I don't accept you, because like I know for a fact she accepts me. But I just want you to be 100% sure." So I was like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." And then, in, I want to say May, like halfway through last year, like halfway through the school year last year, I asked her if I could change my name in the school thing, and that was kind of like the third time coming out, but yeah. So she said yes, and I just kind of, I got called down to my guidance teacher's office that week, and she was like, "Okay, so here's everything that's happening. So here's this, and you know, have you spoken to your mum about what you want to be called? Blah 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 blah." So yeah, but she knew that I wanted to be called. My mum knew that I wanted to be called Luke and stuff, so it was fine. Where's a fly? My hair. Oh my god! Oh, fuck it. Head up. But yeah, so my mum kind of knew already that I wanted to be called Luke because it's on my Facebook page. So I was just kind of like, yeah, this is what I want to be called. And then basically I have a lot of mental health issues too. Well, I say a lot of. I have social anxiety. And so because of that, I go to the local mental health hospital. Well, I say local. It's in Aberdeen. It's called Cornhill. So I go there, but in the child's section because I'm 16, and I think it's over 18s that go to the adults ward. So, like 2-3 months ago, I went. There we go. Like 2-3 months ago, I went, and it was just kind of like, oh, you know, it's whatever. And so we were just kind of talking, and I knew that we were going to bring up my gender identity there, or my gender in general there, and just kind of like talk about it. And so I got asked, you know, have I done any research? And of course I have. I've done 5, maybe, no, less than 5. I've done like 4 years worth of research. So, you know, and like I've been watching Alex Berti since he was like 2 years before, like 2-3 years before he even started to. And so like, you know, I kind of knew the entire process, and like the amount of times I'd been on the Sandyford website just looking through the little pamphlet thing, being all like, oh, so here's what happens, and you know, and the amount of times I've done, okay, how long on tea do you have to be before you get this? Specifically, I believe the thing I've been looking for, or I was looking for the most, was voice drop. Though, and I think maybe, because your chest shrinks a bit, not much, but it still shrinks a bit, and then also fat redistribution, and obviously I think it's like 2 or 3 years on tea you can get male pattern baldness, which it happens, and I don't really mind that. But yeah, so I was just kind of like, yeah, I've done research, and so I think she was a not psychiatrist, maybe psychotherapist. She was one of the two, and so she was just kind of like, okay, cool. Have you gotten into the waiting list for Sandyford? And I was like, no, because I'm under the age of 8, or under the age of 17, I think it is, for Sandyford, for some reason. It's like, I think you have to get your parents to help you or something, I don't know. There's something to do with you have to get your parents or guardians or whatever, I think. You know, you do your own method of research or whatever. Don't take this video for granted, this is just my experiences. So basically, we talked about it, and she was like, right, okay, so there are multiple ways you can refer yourself. You can either, you know, do it yourself, you can get your mum to do it, or my mum to do it, or, you know, you can get your parents to do it, or you can go to your doctor and they can do it. So we decided to go to the doctor just because, I don't know, it's more so, we feel like it held more power and stuff, I guess. I don't know. And then also it's in their system too, and it's not just, yeah, by the way, you know, it's like still in their system and stuff. So yeah, and so we went to my doctor's, my local GP, and they referred me. And then also, so basically I had to go back to the doctor's last week, maybe, for a completely different reason. I messed up my toe, and there was like a cut on it, and a bit of excess like flesh or something came out. It wasn't excess flesh though, it was like, it grew too much, like as it was healing, there was too much skin that healed, basically. So to remove it, I had to go get some sodium. No, not sodium. I had to go get some stuff put on it. Anyway, it's not relevant. But yeah, so basically I went there and I went to my GP and she was like, right, okay. Also, while you're here, have you thought about, speaking of your transition, have you thought about anything else you want to do? And I was like, well, I mean, like, what do you mean? Because right now, really, all I can really do is wait. So, what do you mean? And she was like, oh, well, we can change your name in the system. And that's not legally changing my name, it's just changing my name so then all the doctor's office all my medical records are under Luke and under like mail and stuff. So my name is now changed in the system to Luke, and I now have to see if I want to change my gender marker. Only thing with that though is that because it's a gender marker thing, I may be included in checkups that aren't relevant to me. For example, like prostate cancer checks, but I may also be excluded for things that are relevant to me. And this is why it is important for your doctor to know that you are trans. Like, even if you are, especially if you're on hormones. But like, yeah, so I think I'm probably going to change my gender marker. But it's just more so a case of, then I have to go and like be all like, hey, this isn't a thing that I need. Or hey, this is actually something I need, thanks. Even though, likes of the whole breast, I just cringe at the word, love that. Cancer checks. Hopefully I will have started T and also have had top surgery. So I can be excluded from that. But yeah, so like hopefully when I get to the age in which it's like, is it yearly or is it like every few years? I don't know. But like by the time those tests are like necessary, I will hopefully have had top surgery, and also like maybe bottom surgery or like a hysterectomy at least. Because currently bottom surgery doesn't really give the results I want. So therefore I'm not really thinking about getting bottom surgery, though if in the future it becomes like more realistic looking, I guess, then I'll probably get it. But like right now I'm fine with packing, which I've actually started to do regularly because I've found out that because I've gotten rid of all my genes that were female. So now it actually looks okay and it makes me feel great packing, so yeah. But yeah, that's really like my coming out situation, my transition status and stuff right now. But yeah, so that's just really been like an update, and then also how I came out. So yeah, if you enjoyed, feel free to comment if you have any advice for people thinking about transitioning, or people who are starting to transition even, or people who are thinking about coming out. If you want to see more content like this, I believe this will most likely be the last transition update I can do until I get my letter through from Sandyford saying, here's what this is, here's the times that we have for, actually I think it's a letter that you get, phone call you get being like, here's the appointment times, pick one. But yeah, so up until then, which is probably gonna be like a year from now or something, I can't really do any more unless, like, I don't know, something happens. You never know. But yeah, thank you for watching, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Bye.